Hi, welcome to my channel Mostly Knitting. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new here, I'm Tash, and this is a weekly podcast where I talk mostly about the knitting that I've been doing during the week, and I also put out regular tutorials. Now it is Wednesday the 28th of February and I'm recording from Sydney, Australia. Now I normally start with my finished objects, and I do have one this week and I am wearing it. This is the Armour Sweater by Ankestrick, and I used Madelinetosh. I held two yarns together, Madelinetosh Dandelion in the colourway Paper, and Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the colourway Oat. So they're the yarns in the skein. That's all I have left. I had three skeins of the Dandelion and 4 balls of the Soft Silk Mohair. So I think I have nine and a half grams left of this and about 25 grams left of this. So I used most of my yarn, but I definitely wasn't getting to the point where I was worried about running out, which was a relief. I knit size 1, which is meant to be 37 inches for bust circumference, and mine ended up being 34. So I've got 2 inches of positive ease, but maybe my gauge was just a tiny little bit smaller than the pattern gauge. I did use, on the smaller size needles, I used 4mm needles and 3.5mm needles for the collar and the cuffs. So this was a test knit. It was my first test knit in maybe 8 years. I hadn't done one in a long time. It was really nice. The people in the group were really lovely. It was, yeah, just really enjoyable to be knitting alongside and seeing everybody else's knitting at the same time. It has a really lovely stitch pattern. It's sort of a traveling stitch pattern. It's very easy to work out where you are. It's also very easy to count rows, which is really nice. So I didn't have to really, even on the sleeves when I was doing one sleeve and I wanted to make sure the other one matched, I didn't have to be too worried about, counting exactly, because I could count in sections of 4, which was great. So it definitely grew when I blocked it. So it is fully blocked, fully finished. It grew in width from 30 inches to 34 inches, but didn't really grow much in length. Now the sleeves I knit to 18 inches from the underarm to the cuff because I really wanted them quite long. And I'll stand up and show you the body. I knit to 12 inches from the underarm to the hem, which I think I'm quite happy with. It was maybe a ½ inch shorter than the pattern, but I felt with the high-ish sort of neckline, just proportionately it'd be a little bit too long if I kept going. And this is where it sort of sits with jeans, so plenty of coverage there. If I wanted to tuck it in, do the whatever tuck jean thing, I could, but actually, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I suppose I could. These are pretty high-waisted pants, but yeah, I think with this one I'll wear it out. It doesn't have any waist shaping down the body, and I didn't plan to add any. I think it would be quite tricky to add waist shaping. There is sleeve shaping. I definitely did the sleeve decreases further down, but I did all of the sleeve decreases. I just didn't start them up here, and I didn't do them like here, here, here. I did them sort of here, here, here. So they were just closer together, but further down the arm. And as a result, I have some ease in the arms, which I'm really happy about. It's, it's got a bit of length in the arm side, not crazy long, but enough room for me to be comfortable. And I really love this funnel neck. I'll just put my hair up so you can kind of get a better look at it. For some people with their funnel neck, maybe with larger needles, it sort of moved down the body. Mine has, with the weight of the whole body, moved down a little bit. I think when I only had maybe up to about here knit, it was sort of sitting up a little bit higher like that. But now that it's sort of the whole weight of it is on, it is actually, you can see it's sort of, it's definitely sitting lower down. And I was going to be happy either way. I thought it's pretty either way. Yes, but I really like it. So I'll show you the back as well. Yes, and I think the raglan increases and decreases are really clever in the way that they're incorporated into the stitch pattern. I don't think there was anything else. Oh, it weighs 325 grams, and as I mentioned, I think like with meterage, it worked out to be about 820 meters. That's for me for the size 1. Considering maybe I did shorten a little bit in the body, but not a lot. I reckon like I had 900 meters of both sets of yarn, and clearly I made it with plenty to spare. So I think if you're knitting the size 1 and you've got 900 meters, unless you're going to vastly lengthen it or do anything different with it, that should be enough. And yeah, I really love it. I think it's just really, really beautiful. And I really like I like that I've knit the sleeves to this kind of length to here around my thumb knuckle for this sweater. I just think that's it's quite warm. So obviously with the mohair, and even though that's only a 4-ply yarn, the wool and the mohair, a highish collar, it's definitely something that I'm going to be wearing when it's cold outside. And I do like, as I've mentioned in previous podcasts, I don't like the back of my neck being cold, so I really like that I've got the height there. So yep, I don't think I have anything else to say about it. This is the last thing I'll say, and then I'm going to get off because it's hot. Even though it was really enjoyable being part of the test knit, obviously I had a deadline, and it's actually due, I think today or tomorrow. I think today, but which is tomorrow for the US or Europe. Anyway, I'm going to take photos this afternoon and send them off, but I felt, even though I didn't have to complete the whole sweater, I only had to do the body in one, or maybe even just the yoke in one sleeve, to be sort of considered enough done. I really did want to finish the knit, and so I felt kind of a bit personally my own pressure to meet the deadline to get the whole thing done by today. And so I was knitting at times on this when I wouldn't necessarily have been otherwise, but I was like, I really want to get this finished. Yes, and so I think probably, given how busy I am at the moment, although I was very happy to be part of this test knit, and like it was definitely, I wasn't dealing with a pattern that was like, the pattern was beautifully written. Any changes that we made were just like small number changes or typos. So it wasn't like I spent a lot of time, I didn't have to rip back or get, really confused or do the wrong thing or any of that. But just the deadline thing, I think for me, I just don't like knitting to a deadline. So I don't think I'll be doing any test knits again anytime soon. It just, for me, yeah, it's not how I want my knitting to be in my life at the moment. But I am still very glad I did this one. And yes, I'm very happy with this sweater. But I am going to take it off now because it's super hot. One thing I forgot to mention actually is for the sleeves, so the body of the sweater was knit on a 4mm needle, but the sleeves I actually knit on a 4.5mm needle because I do find that I knit tighter when I magic loop. And I thought about using the Japanese 4.25mm needles that I bought, but they're in wood, and I think that's like, I tried maybe a couple of rows with it and it actually seemed as tight, if not tighter, than my metal 4mm. So I just thought, you know what, I have a feeling these sleeves need that extra little bit of space, and so I used a 4.5mm, and I'm really glad I did, because the sleeve circumference is only 10 inches, even after blocking. So like for me, that's really, well, it's almost no ease. It's like maybe a 1/4 inch ease. And so like I'm really glad I used the 4.5mm needle. So yes, so, and I'm delighted with the end result, and once the weather gets cooler, I'll definitely be wearing this. Right, so I'm up to a section of the podcast that I call Friend from the Vault, where I show you something that I knit earlier. And the one that I wanted to show you now is Whippoorwill by Carina Spencer, and it's a shawl. I don't often show shawls in Friend from the Vault, it's usually sweaters, but I thought the armor sweater was my sweater for today. So this is Whippoorwill by Carina Spencer, and she wrote the Stacks hat pattern that I knit recently. So I actually knit this shawl in 2012, so this is 12 years old, and I love this one. I'll try it on in just a second, but I'll just show you. It's a crescent shaped shawl. I use Madelinetosh Tosh Merino Light. The light blue is denim and the dark blue is ink. Oh, and my computer's just gone to sleep, so I'll give you the details. It was 81 grams of the denim, and how much was it? 81 grams and 54 grams of the ink. And it's just got this really lovely sort of feather and fan at the bottom, and some sort of pretty eyelet sections, and yeah, I really like it. So I'll try it on quickly. I think it's a really good size for me. So I tend to, when I put them on, I put them on about a third of the way, and then wrap around. And yeah, it just, for me, that's just really, I always have to try to fiddle with it so I get the right side showing. And yeah, I really love it. I think it's just a beautiful shawl and a really, really lovely blues. So I don't have much more to say about it than that, other than it gets quite a bit of regular wear, and Tosh Merino Light is such a lovely yarn. It doesn't pill. It blocks beautifully. Yeah, and I think the wingspan of that is pretty much, my wingspan. So so that's my friend from the vault this week, Whippoorwill by Carina Spencer. Right, I'm going to get into my works in progress. I did not cast on anything new this week, so my whips are down from 6 to 5, which is great. I'll show you the first one. This is the Stockholm sweater by Petite Knit, and I'm using Rowan Kids. Oh, I've banded them together because I was fiddling with doing the neck. Rowan Kids, not Rowan Kids Pays. Rowan Felted Tweed DK in the colourway Scree, and Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair in the colourway soft blue. So the same as this one here, but soft blue. And right, so where I was last week, because pretty much all of my energy has gone into armour, so nothing else got a lot of attention, but what I did do the other night was I thought I'll just finish the neckline. So when I was showing this off last week, I had picked up the stitches for the neckline and I'd done 5 rows, but I hadn't done the double knitting rows and the tubular bind off, which I did just, I think, last night. Just to get it done. I haven't woven in any of the ends or anything, and to be honest, I haven't even tried it on. So I'm going to try it on now. I think before I do the arms, I will try it on over like a work shirt, which is like a white collared work shirt, which is what I plan to wear it over. Sorry, lots of mohair in my projects. Yeah, that's good. Okay, because this is the first I've seen it on actually. I think that looks tight. I really don't like seeing ends coming out, but anyway, you can see I leave really long tails. Yeah, I think that looks really nice. I like that. I think that would be good under a collared shirt. Plenty of room for the collar and the top button not done, but the one underneath done. You can see it's got a lot of room here, and obviously that will tighten up a little bit when I pick up the stitches around the armholes, but I don't plan to like really cinch it in because I'll be wearing like a collared shirt, probably a white collared shirt underneath, and then maybe either some beige or some navy pants. I'm not sure. Yeah, anyway, I'll try it on with whatever pants I have in my wardrobe and just figure out what it looks good with. Yeah, but I'm really happy with how that turned out, and I like the tubular bind off. I think that's nice. I can't even remember what the pattern actually said. That's just the neckline treatment that I wanted to do. It probably does. I'll put down below if it actually said to do that, or if it didn't, what it actually said to do. But yeah, I'm happy with how that's going. I've got plenty of yarn for this one. It's a 19 stitch gauge, so when I actually do get back onto knitting it, I won't do the body until I've done the armholes. I'm going to do the armholes next, and then that way I'll, because that will sort of cinch it up a little bit, and when I try to work out how long I want it, I'll definitely be trying it over a collared shirt and pants and everything, to then just get a bit of to make sure when I'm deciding on length that, I'm working to wearing it with what I would wear it with, if that makes sense, right? I mean, normally I try things on when I'm in my pajamas, but if I'm trying to try it on for, is this the length? It's not super helpful if I'm wearing my pajamas underneath. So I need to kind of be wearing the shirt I'd be wearing, the pants I'd be wearing, so that everything's kind of, and obviously I've got more than one pair of pants that I'd wear something with, but, I'll try it on with a couple of pairs of pants and work out sort of, yes, is that kind of the length that I want it? Right, so that's my first work in progress, and my second one is Camisole number 4 by My Favourite Things Knitwear, out of Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the colourway Raspberry Pink. I actually haven't worked on this at all, which is not surprising. I've had a lot of work on, and I finished a whole sweater, which I think last week still had the whole body and maybe a sleeve and a half to go. So that's definitely been where all my attention's gone. But Camisole number 4 might actually get some, I've got an exam that I'm writing, but when that's done, I'll have a little bit more time for, and brain space, because all my brain is full of maths at the moment, and school maths, not knitting maths. So yep, so I'll do the, I'm really happy with it. I think it's gonna look beautiful, but yes, I just need to give it some attention. I'm going to do the straps next. And then once I've done the straps, this will be like zooming around knitting. Yeah, look, I might like, yeah, I don't know. I'll do the straps and then I've got plenty of, stuff in my vanilla knitting to do as well. So, so that's my second ball. This is one ball of yarn and I only have 2 balls. So I think just one more ball will be plenty. Right, so that is work in progress number 2. Whip number 3 is my half and half wrap by, I just keep losing my computer. I've got to keep, sorry. I've got to change the settings or something so it doesn't go to sleep so quickly. Right, so this is the half and half wrap. I'm going to take this off actually, sorry. Right, yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to not working with Mohair for a little bit maybe. This is the half and half wrap by Purl Soho. I'm using, I keep doing this. Every time I pull this out, I don't have the contrast yarn with me. Right, so my third work in progress is the half and half wrap by Purl Soho. Losing the ball now. And this is using Purl Soho Linen Quill, which is the recommended yarn. I'm onto the second ball of Bird's Egg Blue, and the contrast color will be Red Poppy, but I won't start this until, like the way the pattern's written, you finish all of this before you start this one, and it should be about 2.5 balls of each, so 1,000 meters of each. So it's definitely a long-term project. I didn't get as much done on this, I'm gonna say that for everything, not that much work on everything else because it all went into armor. And let me see, where's my marker? So I only did 10 ridges and I just weighed this. I've got, I don't know what it was when it started. I probably have it written somewhere, but it's 94 grams now. So there's still a bit to go. And yes, it's coming along nicely. Very happy with the progress on it. I am slipping the first stitch knitwise and I'm just doing regular wrap and turn short rows. And yep, that's it for that one. This one will be this will be around for a good few more months, which is good because I just love working on this. Whenever I just need to not be concentrating at all, this one comes out. And so 2 more works in progress. This one is the Sophie Scarf by Petite Knit, and I'm using Rowan Patina, which has really good yardage. I'm using 3.5mm needles. I'm making this for my mum, and I'm actually at the halfway point for the large size in terms of stitch count. And yet when I put it up against this other one that I made for my mum, it's nowhere near, I'll just fold it over to half, it's nowhere near half. So if I put this up against it, now I haven't blocked this, right? So here it is. So you can see that that's significantly shorter and even a little bit thinner, and yet I'm at that stitch count. So I think what I'm going to do, I know what I'm going to do, is I'm going to block it on the needles and then see if it actually does grow much. I'm not actually expecting it to. So I think I'll probably need to go up to maybe 35 or 36 to get it to be the same length as this one, because that's the one my mum liked and likes the length of. So yep, so that's the plan for this one. I'll block it tonight so that then I can work on it after tomorrow. And my last work in progress, I think that's all I want to say on that. My last work in progress is another pair of the Skimmer Socks by Sheila Toy Stromberg. I'm knitting this out of Dingo Dyeworks Ridgey Didge, which is some leftovers from my ebb dress. And I've done obviously the toe, and I'm working down the foot, and I'm about 10 rows short of where I do my, so I've done 39 rows, this is a free pattern. I've done 39 rows past the split, and on mine I do 49 and then I start the heel stuff. So I'm 10 rows short of that, and I want to try it on my mum. So I don't want to knit anymore. My mum's got, I wear in sneakers in the US, a US 9, and which is like in Australia, like an 8, 8.5 for women's shoes, or like a 39, whereas my mum is more like a 36.5 maybe. So yeah, significantly smaller feet. And so I want to try this on her and sort of, use the pattern measurements as to how much, how many more rows. I might need a couple more, definitely don't need 10 more. Do I need 2 more? Do I need 4 more? Do I need no more? So that one's kind of stalled right now until I see my mum and get her to try it on. So, and I didn't split the ball in two. If I had split it in two, I could just start another one like this, but I didn't. And obviously I could like pull and wind out, but I don't want to do that because I can see a yarn tangle in my future if I do that. So I'll just finish one, but when I see my mum, I'll try it on her. She's going overseas in about a month. I'd like her to be able to have these for then. And that's obviously ages away, but I just need to, I want to keep knitting on it. I want this to be my walking knitting. I did actually knit on this with my walking knitting, and that was totally fine. I thought maybe the mohair and everything would make it a bit tricky, but no, it was really fine. And in fact, I went walking this morning and a lady was walking her dog and she saw me and she was like, oh, I've seen everything now. I was like, gosh, I'm sure there's more to see, but yes, it obviously surprised her, someone walking and knitting. But yeah, why not? If you can, why not? Right, so, and you know, you're not gonna fall over or hurt yourself. Yeah, so I do walk on paved, like I don't go bushwalking and knit. That would be a recipe for disaster. So that's it for my works in progress. Right, so I'm up to the section in the podcast where I normally talk about my purchases, but I think I might call this section acquisitions now because occasionally I get gifted something. So, yep, so it's going to be called acquisitions. Now, I haven't received it yet, but I was, there was a publishing company called David and Charles that reached out to me and offered to send me Patty Lyon's Knitting Bag of Tricks book and also her new book that is coming out, and would I be interested in getting it and doing a review of it. And I actually think Patty Lyon's is awesome. I have watched a number of her Craftsy classes, and so I think she's great. So I was like, yes, please, I'd love to receive that book, and would I like to interview her? So that's not a purchase, that's an acquisition that is coming. So they've already agreed to send that to me, and I'm a bit nervous about the interview thing, not about interviewing, because I'm excited to interview her and I've got lots of questions I want to ask her, but just the format. So for me, that's a bit of oh, how am I going to do that? And there's a bit of tech stuff that I need to figure out. So, but that's all right. I like learning. So, and I don't think I have to do that until they were asking when in the summer would I be free to do it. So I guess that's a little while away. So that's not coming anytime soon, but it is coming. And I guess the books are coming as well. So when I get them, I'll show them and I'll do a review. And then when I get a chance to interview Patty, that will be coming up on the podcast. As for other acquisitions, I got a lot of yarn from the US, and my in-laws arrived and they brought it with them, and I thought it might be fun to do an unboxing video. So I did that earlier because I couldn't wait till today to open the boxes. So I'll just put that in now. So my parents-in-law arrived yesterday and they brought with them the yarn that I ordered and had shipped to them in the US. And so I thought, I held off. I thought I'll wait and actually open it on camera. I've never done that before. So I've got 3 packages, 2 from Wool & Co. and 1 from the Knitting Loft in Canada. So this little one, I think I've already got torn open, but we'll see what's in it. Wow, this is the Sandysgarn Tin Silk Mohair in Red Poppy. And I have the matching Sandysgarn Sunday. So it's a petite knit colour. So those 2 together are going to be for the poppy tea. I had wanted to get the cashmere, Cardiff cashmere, I think it's called. But that's in the colourway Hermé, but that's actually out of stock. So I thought, well, I'll give this a go, and it's significantly cheaper. But I would like to try that yarn. So I'm kind of, at the moment, I'm sort of quite keen to try different yarns. So I've never tried the Sunday before, and I've never tried the Tin Silk Mohair. So they're 2 new yarns for me. I'm a little, I feel like I already have some tops that have mohair, so that will be more like a autumn wintry kind of item, but yes, very excited about trying those. So everything except maybe one purchase that I can't remember has a plan, and there is one thing that I think I had a plan and then I forgot, so I have to maybe take a look at what I put in my queue around that time. So that's I think I have 4 of each, so that's that package. The next one is another one from Wool & Co. So let's see what we have in here. Ooh, okay, I know what this is. This is Sanduscan Peer Gynt in the colorway Ash Melange, and which is like a really nice heathered grey, and that is for the Storm sweater by Petite knit. That looks really nice. It's a really nice, sort of got some bluey flecks in it, bluey grey. This is not particularly soft, I can tell you. So the Sunday, let me just grab the Sunday. It's for a sweater, which is not going to be, so it's not next to skin. The Sunday feels actually really nice and soft. The Peer Gynt feels a little bit scratchy. Not scratchy horrible, but it's like, I wouldn't use it for like a neck, something around the neck, but for like a woolly kind of sweater, yes, but it's 100% Norwegian wool. But yes, it might soften up with washing. I'll see how I like it. But I am very excited to make the Storm sweater. I'm keen to make that one. So that whole bag is, let me see, I think I've got 11 balls in here because the yardage is not particularly great on the Peer Gynt. So it is, let me see if I can see it. I think it's something like 91 meters. It's not a lot of yardage. I'm having trouble finding this information on the ball band. Okay. Anyway, I wonder if the Sunday is on there. The information's on the ball band. Yes, the Sunday is 50 grams and it's 235 meters. And the tin, oh, sorry, I'd already thrown it down. The tin silk mohair is 212 meters and 25 grams. And that's 57% mohair, 28% silk, and 15% wool. I guess that's wool. So that's that. Why can I not find the yardage on here? Oh, there it is, 50 grams, it is 91 meters, right? So I needed a fair bit of that. That's not very good yardage, so it's probably a pretty heavy DK, that one. Right, that's all I got from Wool & Co. The other thing that I got from Knitting Loft, I got a few different things from here. So I want to be a bit careful. I don't want to cut into my yarn. Can speed through this if you like, but I don't want to speed through it in case I cut my yarn. So and I have to say I'm really happy with the colors. That I really like the poppy red color, which I'm using a very similar color in my what is it, in my half and half wrap. Ooh, it's got like bags inside, boxes. Ooh, what's this one? This is Penelope, which is a sport weight yarn by Rerum Natura, and this really lovely sort of creamy, sort of greyish, yeah, like a really light pale grey. And that is 50 grams, is 133 meters, and there's a little bit of silk in this one. This is 90% wool and 10% silk, and it's super, super soft. That is going to be for early bloomer. And actually I might just grab the yarn that I plan to pull with it for early bloomer. Right, so this is the Penelope yarn, and this is the pink leftovers that I plan to use. Oh, that looks really nice with it. That I plan to use with it for early bloomer and to just do a bit of a gradient with that. So that's leftovers from some blankets. So yeah, I think that's going to be really lovely. So that's that one sweater quantity there, which isn't, I didn't need a lot for that because it's a short sleeve top, so I think I only needed a few balls. So there's got to be something else in here. Oh, okay, I know what this is. I've been wanting this yarn ever since Snow Wonder came out and since we're in Japan. This is the Rerum Natura Juliette, which is like a worsted weight yarn. It's 100% wool. It's 100 grams, 250 meters. So it's really good yardage. And I've got 3 balls of that because that's going to be for Snow Wonder by Heidi Kieramara. And I've already used this yarn in the same colorway before for the Manhattan Hat by Tori Yu. So I know I really like it. It's so lovely and spongy and squishy. So I know I like working with it. And yeah, I'm really excited. So we've got that. Let me see what else. I've got one more bag in here. And what is in here? Ooh, okay, exciting. so this is more Rerum Natura Juliette in the colorway, I think it's Bouleau, B-O-U-L-E-A-U, Bouleau. And that's more like an oatmeal. It actually looks quite similar to the Ash, very similar to the Ash Melange in the Peer Gynt. But this is much better yardage. So 50 grams of this is 91 meters, so 100 grams would be 182, whereas 100 grams of this is 250. So that's, gosh, they're very close. Anyway, I'll have two very similar sweaters. I got 4 of this, and I can't remember exactly what it was for, but if I figure it out, I'll put it down below. There was a plan. And the other thing that I got, which I have not tried before, oh yes, I have tried before. It's the Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair, and this is in the colorway Poppy Rose. It's a real pinky pink, and I got it to go with the Scout. And even though it's got a little bit of peachier than the Scout, I think, yeah, it's definitely a little bit of peach or apricot in this. Together, I think they'll be totally fine because their value's pretty similar, and that might just put a little bit of a peach cast on this. And that is for Purpurea, which is by Teti Lutzak, and that uses a lot of yarn. So I've got 4 skeins of the Scout. This is Tosh Merino Light, so I already had this. And then I got, I think I got maybe 7 balls of this to go with this for a Purpurea, and that's going to be a really long knit. So pretty much everything has a plan, except for the Bouleau, and it did have a plan, I just can't remember what it was. And hopefully I can figure it out, because that always frustrates me. I'm like, what did I buy this for? I knew I had a plan. I should have written it down somewhere. So maybe I'm hoping I put it in my queue. Anyway, that's it for my my yarn haul from the US. I'm super excited, and really the reality now is just what order do I knit all these things in. So it will probably come down to just what I'm feeling, like to what kind of weight yarn, or what sweater I'm most excited for knitting. Yes, or just what else is going on in my life. But I really must finish the armor sweater first. So anyway, thanks. I hope that was interesting for you to just watch me opening them as they came out. And yeah, so lots of really lovely yarn. And I did actually figure out what I wanted to make for that Juliette in the Bouleau. I think it was the Moby sweater or the Oxa sweater, so one of those. So yes, so I'm very excited. This is just like a little bowl of one of each of the skeins to inspire me, and as to which one I'm going to start first, I don't know, but yes, I'm very excited about those plans coming up. So now I'm up to what has caught my eye. So not a lot of things because I've been busy with work, but a few things that I've noticed. One of them was the Eva cardigan by Petite knit, which I have seen before, and I think it's actually knit out of Peer Gynt, but after feeling the Peer Gynt, I haven't knit with it yet, so I'm not making any predictions, but I don't see myself rushing out to buy this yarn again. It's a bit crunchy. I'll be interested to see what it's like when it's been knit up and what. It looks like it has really nice stitch definition, but I think I would probably use something else for that Eva cardigan, maybe some Peyton's Totem that I have in stash. Actually, let me just grab, I have some right here. I think that would actually be really lovely. This Peyton's Totem in this kind of sort of a heathered blue. So that I think would be really nice, maybe for the Eva cardigan. So that's caught my eye, and that's something that so that's some pretty deep stash. I've had that for a while. Pop that in there. Another thing that I saw was Cat Number 1 by Pia Trans, and I saw this on Jane on Mindful Making. She did a really lovely white off-white version. It's got this really lovely yoke detail. Yeah, really, really pretty. So that's a 20 stitch gauge, and it needs 730 with short sleeves, 730 meters for the smallest size. I haven't investigated yarn yet, but it caught my eye and I thought it looked really pretty. So another thing that has caught my eye, which is not so much the pattern, but actually the person's version of it, was Karen, who's Casuarina Girl. She made this amazing dress. The pattern was actually the Caspar top, and which is just meant to be like a sort of a top with some gathers, but she then turned that into a whole full-length dress out of this Calamart linen. Colour Mart is, I don't know if you have ever bought from them before, but they're actually really affordable, and their yarn comes on cones, and especially like with the amount of yardage that she would have needed for that dress, you know, you want something that's, you know, there's some affordability there. Anyway, so her dress, I've just put a picture of it, and she looks amazing. And yeah, I'm sure that was a lot of knitting, obviously a lot of knitting, a lot of time, but it looks stunning. So that caught my eye. I'm not at the stage where I'm ready to make such a lot. I do make a lot of knitted dresses, right? But I make them pretty short. So that was a lot of knitting, and there's pockets in it too. It's amazing. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that because it caught my eye and I thought it was so beautiful. And the other thing that has, I'll put in here as what's caught my eye was Beck, my friend Beck sent me a picture of her hand spun. So she got a secondhand spinning wheel, and she's just started doing some spinning, and it looks amazing. So I'm really so proud of her. Like, she's just, you know, like whenever you take on a new craft, there's challenges, but it looks beautiful. And I think she wants to make the Traveller Cow by Andrea Mowry. So now I'm like, I want to spin, but I'm not letting myself go down that rabbit hole. I want to, I plan to, but it's just, again, that's like quilting maybe. It's not for now. It's a one day. But yes, when I see things like that, I guess all I can do is either buy hand spun or buy yarn that kind of is like hand spun, like the Spin Cycle, if I really want to make something that has that hand spun look. But I'm definitely not at the stage in where my life is at the moment that I've got time to actually, not that I don't have time to spin, right? Because if I was already spinning, I could add that in. Just like I do know how to weave, and I could add that in, but it's not something I do every day, and certainly with spinning, I've never done. So I just don't have time to add learning a new craft at the moment. Right, so that's it for what's caught my eye. For upcoming plans, obviously I had the whole, you know, yarn acquisition video. So there's something from there, or the other one that I might make is with this yarn is the Clay Sweater by Ozetta. So that's with the Loch Lomond. So I'll either make that or one of the, I think the thing that's really calling to me is Early Bloomer, because I wouldn't mind doing a bit of colour work again. But anyway, I haven't got any set plans at the moment. I need to finish the Stockholm Slipover at least before I, you know, I just don't want to cast on another. The Stockholm Slipover and Cami number 4, because I picked up the armour sweater, they've just been on the needles a bit too long, and then things tend to get a bit stale, so I kind of want to get them off the needles, because for a new cotton sweater, I definitely want to make, or cotton top, I want to make that Cami number 9 out of the bark yarn. Here it is, bark. The cotton merino in the, I think it's called bark. Yes, the colorway bark. I want to make the Cami number 9 in that, so I need to finish Cami number 4 before I make Cami number 9. So yes, you know, got to get that off done. And so I'd like to finish the Stockholm Slipover before I start another kind of larger garment sweater out of wool or whatever. Right. Oh, the only other thing I do want to do though is Mia's grandma Gabby, he really likes my knitted hats, and he said his ones that I've made him are starting to look a little bit shabby, and would I make him some more. So yeah, so he likes ones that kind of sit up around here, so there's not a lot of knitting, and what I usually do is just like a folded brim, and then, you know, like knit it pretty short, like from here up. So it wouldn't take very long, it doesn't take a lot of yarn. So that might be, once I've finished the Skimmer Socks and the Sophie Scarf for my mum, for a small project, I might cast on a hat for Gabby. Right, I think that's it. I'm really trying to, you know, be, concise isn't the word, like just, you know, get to the point. Yeah, anyway, as I'm thinking about the right word, I'm taking too long thinking about it. So I'm just going to move on. That's it for the knitting stuff. I think that's it, yes. I think I'll just move on to personal stuff now, which shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Right, so my in-laws arrived, as you saw, with all of the yarn that they brought with them. So I've been spending time with them. We went to baseball on Sunday, unfortunately. So that was the finals for my son and my husband. Unfortunately, they lost 16-14, but it was a close game. I couldn't stay the whole time, which was a bit sad. I just have so much work to do, and I did feel sad. But it was like a 4-hour game. It was 9 innings. Anyway, it was close game and Alex stayed, and so I got to hear all about it. My daughter Alex stayed, and the grandparents were there to watch. There was plenty of people there to watch, but they lost, so that's it for at least another month, because it's summer season here and they also play winter baseball, so it'll only be about another month off and then they'll be playing again. Yep, so it's just been spending time with family, playing cards. We play 500, most nights, and obviously with work and family visiting, that's kind of been mostly where my energy's been going. I think we're going out for dinner tomorrow night with my in-laws and with some of their friends that have just arrived, and they're all heading off on a cruise later this week, so they leave on Friday. And then yes, I think once I get this exam written, things might just calm down just a little bit, but at the moment it's just like it's family, work, and I think that's probably why I felt a little bit pressured with trying to get the armor sweater done. I was like just trying to get it finished with lots of other things on, and I just was like, that's not really how I want to do my knitting at the moment. So yep, so I don't have anything to talk about in terms of shows or books. I have like nothing else besides work and family time at the moment, and obviously finishing that armor sweater. Yes, but I think things will calm down a little bit. As you can probably hear, I'm like talking faster just as I think about the things that have been on my plate. But yep, I think that's it. I will, in the interest of brevity, that's the word I was thinking of, brevity. Brevity? Concise, they're both important. Anyway, I'm going to stop there, and I will, yeah, I'm not sure about tutorials. Hopefully I'll get back into the swing of doing them on the weekend once I finish this exam. Right, okay, I'm going. Truly, I really am. I am going now. Hope you all have a great week, and I will be back next week. Thanks.